Okay. Are we good?
Yes.
We're good. All right. So we're back. We're doing another Sluban video. And this time we're going to put together a truck. So you can see the truck there. It's a pretty neat looking truck. It's got a couple of different guys that come with it. It's got, all right. It's got two shipping containers actually make up the trailer. Show you the back of the box. There's actually a couple of them from Sluban. We're doing just the middle one. And, oh, I think that's upside down. You can see the truck there on the side. Some Chinese writing. Pretty much the same thing there. And the same thing there. Not a bad box. Some of these Sluban sets, the boxes are they're kind of chintzy, they're kind of thin, and they crumple pretty easy. This one's not so bad though. This one's pretty thick. Cardboard's a little better on this one. Anyway, we'll take this guy apart and we'll put it together. All right.
Oh, I'm in it open.
All right, we only need to take apart the one side. So, I don't know, there's the box, if you're interested in that. The boxes on these are kind of flimsy, but this one's not so bad actually. This one's kind of stiff. Anyway,
can I wear it?
You want to wear it?
Yeah.
Go ahead, you can wear it. If you're new to these sets, put that one down there. If you're new to these sets, they have English and Chinese boxes. The boxes on the shipment I got are pretty much entirely in Chinese. You can see up here there's very little English. Here I don't think there's any English on the back of this. It's all in kind of Chinese, which I don't know, I think it's kind of funny, but anyway, it's just how it goes. These guys, I imported a couple of crates of these, and I'm selling them on Amazon, and they're kind of neat sets. Part of the reason I imported them is because they're very hard to find, and I think they're a really good bang for the buck. People just don't seem to know about them. They don't really know they exist. You don't see much of them, and when you do see them, you don't see any reviews on them or anything like that. So I'm just trying to kind of show you what they're about and kind of show you firsthand what they're like. All right, so we'll take the box apart, and you can see the couple of bags I have here. If you're used to Legos, you know that Legos, they typically number the bags so you know what order to start doing them in. These people don't do that, which isn't too big of a deal, but it's just something to be aware of. All right, Jacob. That's it for that. All right? All right. So before we begin, let me just say that even though the box is entirely in Chinese, the manual is actually just pictures and numbers. So let me, I don't know if you can see that. It's pretty much just figures of the Legos, or not Legos, the building blocks, and how they go together. And you can see that there's numbers for the different steps. The numbers are in English, oddly enough. So there's really no language barrier or anything like that. Let me take this box here. We don't need this. All right, let's put it down there. All right, so let's open the bags and have at it. Okay, can you help me sort these by color? All right, we'll put all the red ones here and we'll put all the black ones there. Okay, so the black ones here. Okay, so now we're all sorted out. I guess I'll put these people together first. One of the things that I do when I'm putting these guys together is, like I said, I sort them out into different colors so that it's easier to find them. And sometimes I sort them out into high profile and low profile pieces. I'm not going to bother doing that this time because there doesn't seem to be a whole ton of different styles of pieces, so I think it'll be pretty easy to find them, so I'm not sure that'll be worth the upfront effort. So we got 3 guys. I think I might be missing a hat. If you're not familiar with these sets, let me take this guy, it's a little easier to see. Again, these aren't Legos, these are Sluban Building Blocks. They're kind of like a, I guess you could say a low-cost Lego alternative. These guys are pretty similar to Lego guys, but they're a little different. Different features are kind of rounded. The legs are rounded a little bit more. I'm not sure if you could see that. The legs in the back have areas to sit them down. The feet are the same way. You can kind of snap them into other blocks. They have hats that are interchangeable. The heads or bodies are interchangeable. They're pretty similar in that regard. If you've never bought one of these sets or you're not familiar with them, they do feel a little bit different than Legos. They have a little bit of a lighter feel to them. They're not quite as stiff. The main complaint that you'll hear people talk about is like the clutching power, they call it, on them, which is how well they stick together or how easy it is to stick them together versus how hard they hold, and just how difficult it is to take them apart. These 2 particular ones, you can see that they hold together pretty well. My complaint with these is usually, if anything, that they're harder to pull apart. It's not so much that they don't stick. Like these are sticking together pretty good. They're hard to pull apart sometimes. Sometimes if you have something like this, a smaller, low-profile piece, and you kind of stick it on there, it's kind of difficult sometimes to get it off. But anyway, in general, I think these are pretty good sets. They go together pretty well, and we'll see how this one turns out. So here's the manual again. I think I went over this, that this is in English. We'll start out and see where we wind up. So the first step to do is to put together these little packages, which my daughter already did for me. And this leads me to another issue with these, which isn't so much of an issue, but it's probably worth pointing out, which is that the manual does not usually tell you when or where to put the stickers on. Usually what you wind up doing is taking a look at the box, and you can see where the stickers are on the box, or on the assembled version that's shown on the box. I noticed that these guys have little stickers on them on the box, so we'll stick these stickers on. Okay, so this is one of the first things you stick together. It's this guy. He's operating a little hand truck. This kind of takes one of these little packages, and this is kind of unusual. It doesn't really snap into place. Just kind of sits there, which, I don't know, I guess that's true to life in some sense, right? It just sits there. But anyway, step 1. So we're, I don't know, I guess this is step 8. I figured I'd just stop and show you what I've got so far. Sometimes with these instructions, and this particular couple of steps here were difficult, that they're not very straight. Well, it's not that they're not straightforward or they're not really ambiguous, but they're not as detail laid out as Lego ones usually are. I found twice here so far, I kind of skipped a block, realized they wouldn't go together, and kind of had to back up a little bit. There's a step that has you put this long black piece on. I didn't see that. I started putting the headlights on and realized they wouldn't fit, so I had to back up. I wouldn't say that's an issue. I guess it's, you know, putting these things together is a little bit like a puzzle, so I guess it's just an added dimension on top of that. But I just figured it was something worth pointing out. If you're going to have young kids, you shouldn't have anybody less than 6 putting these together. But I suppose somebody that's right at around 6 might have a problem or need a little bit of help following the instructions. But anyway, I'm gonna continue forward. Looks pretty good so far. We'll see how it turns out. Okay, we're back. Ran out of memory, so we had to stop for a second while I unloaded it. This is where we're at so far. Got the inside of the cab. Oop. You can see there's a little like, I don't know, shifting lever, I guess, that's in here. There's the guy's seat. It's not too bad so far. I think it's pretty good. You can see the start of a wheel well forming there. Got backup lights. Anyway, we'll keep going. Okay. So my son started helping me out a little bit here. I'll just show you some of the detail before we get too far in. I'm your grandson.
You are my grandson.
I'm not your grandson. You're my son. Anyway, you see he's got the little posable mirrors on the side. It's like little, I don't know, I guess these are supposed to be like smokestacks in the back there.
You design your grand.
You are helping me. It's got a little landing pad for the trailer when the trailer gets hooked up. Got rear headlights in there. Got the front lights a little bit. Got a steering wheel. Our little shifter level there is pretty limp. Kind of just wants to fall over. I'll see if there's something we can do to kind of stiffen that up maybe.
I'm helping you because I'm your grandson.
Alright, so we'll get back to this.
You're my grandson.
You're my grandson?
And I am your grandson.
Ah, you're the best, buddy.
I can whistle now with my 2 strong watch.
So this is where we're at. We got the windshield on. Looks pretty good. Got the side. Got the little posable mirrors here. They fold back. Got the steering wheel. Got this little like wind thing up here. It's a little adjustable. Got the horns. Horn on that side. Horn on that side. Not too shabby. Let's show you a little bit more detail on that.
I can't even on this.
Alright, we'll keep going. this is where we're at so far with the trailer. This is probably the most difficult part of the build. Putting together this little piece here with the little stand that holds the trailer up when the tractor's not there, and then mounting the flatbed to the wheel truck. That was not very obvious. I really kind of had to look at the instructions there for a while to understand that. Basically, they have you assembling the different pieces up here, and then they just kind of show the pieces you're sticking together, and then they show these blocks here as if like you're adding other blocks, but what they're really representing is the top of the pieces that you just built up here. They're just not showing it. They're just showing what the top of those pieces look like. So it took me a little bit to figure that out. But anyway, once you put a little bit of time into it, it becomes a little more clear. Alright, so we're back. We had a little bit of a break there. We'll keep going. So here's one of the containers. That's not bad. It's actually pretty simple, just a couple of pieces. Opens. That's kind of neat. Okay, so there we go. So here's the scene. Whoa, that guy's kind of broke apart. Lost an arm in the deal. We're all together now, so we got the boxes, got the little guy with the little hand truck there. His buddy's helping out. Got another guy in there driving. It's not a bad set. I mean, I'm pretty happy with it overall. The wheels on this set aren't super good. Let me see if I could just show you this a little more up close. There's a couple of things about this set that I don't think are a big deal, but they're a little frustrating. One is that the wheels aren't super good. I mean, I'm not sure if you could see that, but there's like a little bit of play. They jiggle a little bit when you go with them. So if you're driving along on a pretty flat surface like this is a dining room table right now. They don't even necessarily all meet. Of course, they're not doing so bad now. But I don't know. I don't like that. But it's not such a big deal. I mean, it's kind of how it goes. Another thing about this set that's kind of interesting is these little shipping containers that are on there. I'm not sure how easy it is to see the detail, but if you were to look at this guy, if you look, you can see that only here, 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 and here are the only places where you actually have little pegs that the shipping container sits on. If you look at the container here, it's actually got little like legs at the corners, which actually kind of looks realistic in some sense. I think a lot of shipping containers are actually built that way. But anyway, those pegs at the corner are the only things that hold these containers onto the trailer. So I guess that's kind of good that it's easy to take them off, but it's kind of a pain that that they're barely on there, you know. So if you plan on taking them off, I guess, while you're playing, or if you want your kids to take them off, it's not too big of a deal. I mean, it looks good when they're together, but it's kind of frustrating that if you're going to manipulate this thing a little bit, they kind of just want to pop off, you know. It's easy enough to just pull these 4 feet off of it, and then that'll give you the whole connecting strip down here to connect them in a little more solid way. Another thing about this that's kind of rubbing me the wrong way a little bit is there's this, I'm not sure what you call this, like a jack stand, I guess. This is the thing that holds the trailer up when it's not attached to the tractor. And this thing, I don't know if you can see that, it kind of barely hangs down below this little skirt that's here, and it doesn't seem to want to really attach well. What I would do is really just kind of add a little bit of a separate booster to this. I'm going to take some of these spare pieces that are here and just kind of attach this thing a little separately from what the instructions say to do. Let me just see if I could take these containers off, kind of just attach this guy here, maybe. There. I think that works a lot better. I'm not sure if you can see exactly what I did, but these little skirts here, these used to be attached to this centerpiece. I kind of pushed them off of the centerpiece. That kind of spreads them out a little bit so there's more room in between the two of them. That's kind of against what the instructions were saying. And then I took this guy and I mounted them separately. If you could see those 2 red pieces there right at the base, I mounted them separately, and that allows them to kind of like fold down in between the wheel skirt. That kind of attaches him a little better. In my opinion, I like the skirts a little better. They sit up a little higher, and I think it looks a little more realistic. This trailer's a little strange. I mean, it's got 3 sets of wheels in the back. I have not really seen that in general. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. So now you got this little stand here. And then this guy can kind of just sit without the tractor there. I'm also going to take these guys, and I'm going to pull these little feet off of them. Because I personally would like it better if they just stuck on the trailer a little better. So, I'm going to take these guys off. Now I'm going to take this guy and kind of just mount him on there a little better. Ah. So now we've got the little jack. Can kind of sit in here nicely. Folds up when it's on the tractor. The carts now are attached pretty well. They don't want to just flip off. So that's pretty good. Put this guy here. The tractor itself looks kind of neat. This is kind of the opposite of the trailer. It only has one axle back here. Typically you see two. The tractor you typically see two, and it has three, so go figure. But the detail on it's kind of neat. It's got the little gas tank there. It's got these things in the back. I don't know if they're supposed to be like hose outlets for air brakes or something, but it's got little horns on the side, windshield. It's got the adjustable mirrors. Got the little door here. You can see the little guy sitting in there and driving it. It's kind of a nice set. I kind of think it's neat. I like these Sluban sets because they're pretty simple. They're not like real fancy. They're not based off whatever the latest cartoon or movie is. You know, I mean, this thing's pretty simple. It's a truck. You know, I mean, it's kind of ageless. Trucks don't really go out of fashion, so it's kind of neat. One thing that does kind of bother me a little bit about this is it'd be a lot nicer if this was a peg instead of a little platform. Like kind of a peg that went into a hole in this, it'd kind of be a little bit nicer. The way it is, it's kind of difficult to attach this. You kind of got to attach it and then be very careful when you put it down that you don't twist it at all, you know? I mean, I don't hold these things, I don't hold it against them too much that it's kind of a little difficult to play with them. I mean, even real Lego sets, they can be real difficult to play with. I mean, I know, like in particular, I've had a couple of the Ninjago sets that it seems like you just touch them and they disintegrate. But anyway, this one isn't so bad. I mean, you can play with it, drive it around, open the little doors in the back here, put your little stuff in. Throw that stuff in there. Kind of just drive around with it. I mean, I think it's a pretty nice set. I think in the end, the truck is pretty nice looking. Goes together pretty well. I didn't have any real problems with it. I mean, some of the stuff isn't super intuitive, but I mean, that's true with all the sets. I mean, you've always got to pay attention to the instructions. I mean, part of the appeal of putting these things together is that it is a little bit like a puzzle. That you do have to put some effort and thought into it, so I don't hold that against it at all. One thing, and I said it before, like if you give this thing the slightest twist in this direction, or obviously in this direction, it kind of just pops the trailer loose. So, you know, you got to be careful of that. And like I said here, I kind of modified the design a little bit to kind of make this thing fold inside, which, you know, isn't a big deal. I didn't need any extra Legos. I actually kind of just used a couple of the extras. This set, like every set I've ever put together, has a couple of extra pieces. I don't know if that's just their way of giving you a freebie or if they count those in the part count or how it works, but anyway, just a couple extras there. Overall, I think it's a great set. I mean, this I'm selling on Amazon for $30, and really what you get for $30 I think is a fantastic deal. I mean, yeah, it's got a couple of shortcomings, but I mean, I think it's far better value than what you get for. I mean, a lot of these Lego sets, some of these things are $100 for something this size. I mean, to get this for $30, I think is a pretty good price. I mean, the detail on it, I think, is nice. I mean, it's got the headlights in the back. It's got a bunch of stickers here that I've yet to stick on. There's trailer stickers. There's a bunch of other stuff, but it's a pretty neat set. You know, you get the 3 different guys, you get the hand truck, you get the trailer, the tractor, and I think it's pretty good. I'll reattach this guy here. You know, I think you're doing pretty good. I mean, if you wanted to modify it, you could always take the extra third axle off of it, just to have 2 sets. But anyway, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed looking at this. I hope you learned something about this. If you're considering buying them, you know, you could kind of know what you're getting into by taking a look at this video, so I appreciate it. But alright guys, sounds good, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.